November 4th, 2024. Last year, Big Sarge of the Sons of Liberty asked me to become an admin for the Sons of Liberty Facebook page and a YouTube group. More honestly, they just started calling me Admin Doug and put me in the chat that said admins only, and I pretty much said, all right, I must be an admin now. But the truth is we were aligned. It was obvious from the get-go. But I don't know if you noticed or not, my voice. You see? So I can't even rant and rage like I want to, but that's where family comes in. And when it comes to family, you see, when I can't speak, when I'm without a voice, I can rely on my family, the ones that I chose, that we call friends as we grow up, to speak for me. And that he did.
Some 83,000 VA employees, most of them veterans, are about to be fired. That's a massive chunk of VA employees, almost all of whom provide critical care and services to our nation's veterans, whether they're combat wounded veterans or spouses and children of veterans. We all fucking see what is happening, and we all fucking see Republicans and Democrats afraid to act. You don't become a veteran by some magical decoder ring and mimeographed insert that you got for saving your cereal box tops, little Jimmy. You become a veteran by swearing an oath to defend your country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to uphold the Constitution. You serve your country for a number of years, whether that was as an enlisted person or by accepting a commission to be an officer. At any point in your peacetime or wartime service, you could be abruptly deployed into a combat zone where you may encounter situations where you're killed by enemy fire, or you make a decision to sacrifice your life in service of a greater good to save others. And now the same motherfucking government that sent us to Iraq in the first goddamn place is now yanking the rug out from every single veteran in this country. If you're a MAGA supporter who thinks this is okay and you voted for this to own the libs, I need you to go start a shotgun, and don't you ever fucking thank me or any other veteran for our service to this country, because you are abusing the privileges and freedoms that we put our lives on the line for.
There you have it. You see, when I can't speak, I know that the message they come out with, the message Big Sarge is going to come out with, is going to be one that I can agree with, that I can fall behind, that I can back. Fortunately, the Democratic Party still has to learn this. The Republicans of the House of Representatives decided to censure Al Green for standing up and talking. But while being censured, the one thing you would expect of a Democratic Party unified to fight against fascism would that none of them would vote for the censorship, even if they didn't have the balls to stand up themselves. Wrong. 10 Democrats not only didn't stand with, not only didn't walk out, not only rolled over to let fascism pee on them as they have their mouth open and drink it up, they actually voted with the Republicans to censure the ones fighting for us. Here's their names. Let me tell you something, YouTube. Let me tell you something. There needs to be consequences and repercussions for all of these people. Every last one of them. This is the fight for fascism. I'm going to just hone in on one right now. Just one. You see, this piece of shit right here, his name is Jared Moskowitz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't give a fuck if I'm pronouncing it right. He doesn't deserve my respect. You see, he told us the reason why he ran for, here, I'll let him say it. Why did you run for Congress, Jared?
Well, the reason I decided to run is the same answer is why now? I mean, the stakes in this country right now politically could not be higher. With the division in this country, with Roe v. Wade just being overturned, with LGBTQ rights, being on the line, we have, record inflation, high gas prices. I mean, middle-class America is struggling, and we have to do more to help them. We got a situation in Ukraine going on, how we're going to get out of that. And so between geopolitical politics and stuff going at home, I mean, Donald Trump's talking about running again. I mean, as a Democrat who cares about this country, who wants to get things done, I mean, we're faced with, a very tough task on trying to fight for our democratic values.
Fight for democracy, huh? Is that you, Jared Fukowski? Huh? The stakes could not be any higher.
I mean, the stakes in this country right now politically could not be higher.
You need to fight for our democracy. Is that how you fight, Jared Fukowski? Tell me, how high are the stakes when you're willing to turn your back on the only person who seems to understand the stakes? The stakes are, you're a pussy, you and all the rest of them. The truth is, you're not your family. You are not my friends. What you are tools that I will use for power, to maintain power, to keep power, and to withhold it from you at all costs after I gain it. And everybody else watching this, that's the goal. The Democratic Party is not our friends. They're tools to be used and then discarded after use. Accordingly, they've shown us even in California. Gavin Newsom, let's hear what he has to say.
This morning, Governor Gavin Newsom of California threw transgender people under the bus hard. He sat down with far-right hate influencer Charlie Kirk as his first guest on his new podcast. The same person who calls trans people a throbbing middle finger to God.
Years before I was governor, there was a law established the legal principles that allow trans athletes in women's sports. But the issue of fairness is completely legit. So I completely align with you, and we've got to own that.
Let me be honest with you. I don't know much about trans people in sports. I don't give a fuck! Because I understand that the stakes are too high to have Charlie Kirk on and be talking about anything other than the fascist movement that's backing him, that's destroying America, that's taking the farms away, that's destroying the jobs, that's taking veterans' assistance away. That's what I know. The 5 or 6 people that decided to transition because they feel different and they want to play sports as well is not the people to be talking about. They're not the people to scapegoat. Nobody cares but the fascists. But you are too worried about your next presidential run. And unlike the Republicans who know how to galvanize their base, you're trying to coddle them instead of galvanizing yours. They're fascists. They hate you. They've sold out to Russia. Russia is now in control of the White House. The stakes are too high, and you're voting to censure Al Green. Tell me, what happened here?
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. Of the proposal.
How come you didn't vote to censure them then? What was that madness? What was that disgusting madness that they've been going on with for 4 years? Fukowski and the rest of you piss-poor Democrats, did you not vote to censure anyone then? No, you are not my family. You are not my friends. I choose you as my friends, the people, we the people. Political parties, on the other hand, are not our friends. They're tools, all of them. So this is how we fight. Take a look here. These are people in solidly blue districts. That's a difference. That means whatever Democrat runs there wins. Everybody here is geriatric. Fuck them. I don't care how good they are or have been. Get rid of them, all of them. Put another Democrat up and use them as the next tool for the next few years until they fuck up. They're not our friends. They're tools. Here's how we fight. Here's the rules. In case I'm not clear, because I am a little sick and I don't know how I'm getting this off without coughing, but there must be the energy from God himself directing through me to tell you what to do next. What you do is you make sure the Democrat wins because they're the tools that we will use, and then you primary them the minute they fuck up. And you do not get rid of a Democrat in any position until you know you have another Democrat to take their place. And you damn well be looking for new Democrats to take their place all the time, every time. I don't care if you're AOC, and I say that with all respect. I love her. Or Jasmine Crockett. I just did a video about how much I love her. One thing I do know is the people we elect are the tools. As long as they keep doing well, as long as they keep standing up, as long as they keep doing what we think is in the best interest of the people, and they stick together rather than some walk out and some don't, some stand up and others censure, we keep them in. If we can't find someone to replace them, that's fine. They can come back in. If you've noticed, the Republicans have done that for years. They try to primary somebody, they can't get that primary in, so they vote the next guy in. Oh, he's a child racist? No big deal. He's a Republican. I'll do it. Oh, this guy, he ran over 5 kids with his car. I'll do it. Oh, this guy, he says that he's a black Nazi. He's running for governor. I'll do it. 40% of the people in North Carolina voted for the person who called themselves a black Nazi, who was found at porn stores watching trans porn while trying to take away trans rights. They voted for him because they don't give a fuck about what he did. They give a fuck about power. Our turn. I don't care how bad Ossoff is. He's going in over Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then as soon as I can find a better Democrat to replace him, I'm kicking him out because he's a tool. I have no allegiance to him. It just so happens the only thing between fascism, Nazism, swastikas, and Sig Heils on every goddamn stage in America happens to be the feckless fucking Democrats, so I use them as I have to and then discard them at my will. That's the plan. That's always been the plan. And then, when we have the power, we withhold it from those who've been known to abuse it. That's the plan. Stop acting like a fucking idiot. Galvanize. I don't care. I don't care. The only way to beat them is to care about one thing only. The power. Fuck you, Newsom. You're in a completely blue district. I'm sure we can find somebody else if you're not sufficiently loyal. Fuck you, Nancy Pelosi. You're in a completely blue district. I'm sure we can find somebody else. Good luck, Ossoff. I don't want Green in there, so you'll be in there. But your days are numbered. That's how this works. That's how this works. Put your pride away. It's time for power. Are you ready for power, YouTube? I'm ready for power. I'm ready to galvanize. I'm ready to make sure every one of those Democrats stand up. And then even after they stand up, I will not forget that they didn't the first time. And it will be taught to them the moment it can be. And they will never get the power again. That's how this works. Are you sufficiently motivated? Now, we may not have an election in 2026, but goddamn it if we do. Right now, there are special elections in Florida. Go there, vote. Right now, obviously, Georgia's going to be having something. Go there, vote. Remind him daily that he's a failure. Don't give an inch. Be ready to run yourself if you have to primary these bums. But we do not get rid of one until we have another. Until 2026. I'll see you at every march. I'll see you with the picket signs. If the Democrats refuse to stand up and yell and shout because they don't see how high the stakes are, it's only when they're running for their office that the stakes are high. Fuckwits. Well, that means it's up to us. And we will not forget it.
And now it's time for the throw punch!